Morning all, and welcome back once again to the channel. In today's video I've got something a little bit special to share with you. It's not your typical dive watch. It's what I would call a premium Microbrand dive watch, and the price has forced me to take a deeper look at this watch to try to understand, well, why is this a premium watch and why does it cost what it does? I'm going to run through all the reasons why this isn't your typical $200 or $300 Microbrand diver. Now, this is a full production version of their limited edition. There's two versions of this watch, and there have been some changes to this watch after the prototypes were reviewed in 2024. And that's one of the reasons why I like to wait for the full production watches to become available to review. I like to share with you exactly what you're going to get if you order one of these watches. Now, the prices range from around £970 to £1,248 for this limited edition version. I know it seems like an eye-watering price, doesn't it? But when you take a deeper look at this watch and you fully understand what's gone into it, the price starts to make a bit more sense. Inside this watch, we have a top grade ETA 2824. Now, there are four grades of ETA 2824, and this is essentially the second best one. You've got standard, Elabor, top grade, and COSC. And there are actually quite a few differences between this top grade version and the standard version that you would normally see in Microbrand watches like this. Of course, they're all Swiss-made automatic movements. They all have the same frequency. They all hack. They all hand wind, 28,800 beats per hour, but the top grade version is much more accurate than the standard version. You should expect -4 to +15 seconds a day, over the standards -12 to +30, and it's adjusted to 5 positions, not 2. You have an upgraded balance wheel, an upgraded hairspring. This version is more resistant to magnetic interference than the standard version. The pallet stones in this top grade and the COSC version are genuine red rubies. In the standard version and the Elabor version, they are artificial rubies. In this version, we have an Inca block anti-shock system, which has been the industry standard since 1934. It works better and it's more suited to movement services over the ETA-Choc anti-shock system used in the standard version. And this movement costs around $100 extra over the standard version. So this really is an upgraded movement. This isn't your typical ETA 2824, and this one is running beautifully. This dive watch is also a proper ISO 6425 certified diver. Yes, not all official dive watches use that rating system, but it is a well-recognized certification which helps to identify dive watches that have been more thoroughly tested for actual dive watch use. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be buying this watch to go diving, but it's reassuring to know that the engineering behind this watch is so good, it's been able to pass that additional ISO 6425 certification. And this is a Swiss-made watch, Swiss-made movement, Swiss-made watch, and as I'm sure you're aware, there's often always a Swiss-made tax, isn't there? You are going to pay more for a Swiss-made watch. Those two words, well, they're important to some people. The finishing, well, it is very premium. The brushing and the polishing are incredible. The transitions are superb. We are seeing more and more affordable watches finished to an incredible standard these days, but it's still good to know that this watch is finished to a very high standard. On the cheaper watches, that's a bit of a bonus. On this watch, it's expected and they have delivered. The steel is hardened, and that's great actually, because this is a beautifully finished watch and you'd like it to look like this for as long as possible, so it's nice that they've gone that extra mile and hardened the steel. The rotor is gold plated on this limited edition version. The dial is incredible, lots of detail on this dial. I'm not seeing any imperfections anywhere, no dust on the dial or underneath the crystal, and the packaging is also what you would expect for a watch in this price bracket. There's a lot of competition, I know, in this sort of price bracket. Watches from more established brands, but you're not likely to get the same overall package from those more established brands than you are from Monarte with this watch. Now, the rest of the specifications are, I think, what you would expect. Excellent lume, sapphire sandwich, decent AR coating, very, very nice bracelet. The finishing on this bracelet is as good as it is on the case. Screw pins, I'm going to talk about the screw pins in a minute actually. Solid links, obviously. An on-the-fly adjustment system, a very good quality clasp. I'm going to talk about the clasp as well in a minute. Very cool hands and applied indices. There's a lot of detail, a lot of polishing, a lot of reflective surfaces on this watch, so it's quite a sort of dressy, fancy dive watch. It's certainly not the sort of dive watch you're going to take down to the beach when you go snorkeling and that sort of thing. I think it's just a bit too fancy, isn't it? But it will be up to the task. Yeah, no doubt about it. Of course, it's got a diver's bezel action, 120 click, unidirectional. The action's okay. The alignment is perfect. Have a listen. Nice knurling on the outside of the bezel, interesting detail on the crown. There's a lot that seems to have gone into this crown, actually. It's not your typical dive watch crown, is it? Flanked by those beautifully finished crown guards. Yeah, the finishing of this watch is, yeah, a pleasure to see under macro lens, actually. I've enjoyed taking footage of this watch. Now, there's a few things that I think could be improved. I did mention earlier on that it's not the perfect dive watch, and it isn't. I think the bracelet actually could do with a little bit more taper, or perhaps start a little bit broader at the case. It's quite broad under the wrist. The clasp is therefore quite broad and bulky and big. That does help with weight distribution because it's not the smallest dive watch. But yeah, I do tend to prefer bracelets that just taper a little bit more. And I would prefer the clasp to be a little bit smaller, although the on-the-fly adjustment system works beautifully. It feels like a premium on-the-fly adjustment system. Super smooth, super slick, very nice clicks. The screw pins. I said I was going to revisit these, didn't I? And the reason for that is, well, they are double-ended screw pins. So you need to have the dexterity of, well, I don't know, actually, I haven't got a comparison to hand. Grand Seiko use these, so I guess they are associated with premium bracelets, premium brands, but just give me a good old-fashioned single-headed screw pin. But hey ho, that's what we've got. So, yeah, can you now see why this watch isn't 3, 4, even 500 US dollars? The movement alone costs between $250 and $350 just to buy the movement. Then on top of that, you've got the fact that it's an ISO 6425 certified diver, a 300 meter diver, Swiss made. I mean, the list is pretty impressive, isn't it? Now, it's not going to be for everyone. I haven't really even talked about the design. I'm not overly wild about the design. It's pretty, it's nice, it's a bit different, it's quite original, but I think it's just a little bit too fancy for me with those flared lugs and that steel bezel. I'm not wild about steel bezels on divers, sadly, but I am certainly appreciating this watch and what they're trying to give you. They are trying to give you a high-end luxury dive watch for, okay, premium micro brand money, but you will not find a dive watch with all these specifications from a well-established Swiss brand for anything close to the sort of money they're asking for this watch. So for that, I commend them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what else they produce. Now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Let me know in the comments section what you think of the watch and the review, of course. And if you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button for goodness sake. What are you waiting around for?